Okay. Um, let's bring this guy up.
Oh, what's up? Can you hear me?
I could hear
Yeah,
you.
Are you able, right. All right. Are you able to hear me?
yeah, we're able to hear
I
you.
could hear you well. How
All right.
can I help you?
All right. Sounds good. Hey, I just wanted to see if I could talk about the resurrection.
The resurrection?
Oh yeah.
Let's deal with the topic of the live first.
Sure. Let's talk about the topic of the live, then we could talk about the resurrection.
Uh,
Okay.
I
Could
just don't have that
you?
much time left.
We'll keep it quick.
Kind of came here a bit later than I intended. Is
We'll
there any
keep it
other
quick.
time when I was just going to ask? Is there any other time you might be talking about where is there any
Okay.
potential
So, you
future
know
life
what?
where I
Sure,
could discuss
sure,
it with us?
sure. Let's talk about the resurrection. No problem, man.
Okay, sounds good. I'm pretty sure you understand that is the cornerstone of Christianity, right?
Um,
Yes.
That without
So,
the resurrection, our faith
your
would be in
preaching
vain.
would be in vain. First Corinthians chapter 15, verse 14. Continue.
Exactly. You got it. You got it.
Yep.
Now, why do they believe in the resurrection, though?
Why do
why
you
did
believe in the
who believe in the
resurrection?
resurrection?
Why did the earliest Christians believe in the resurrection within the first 3 years in Christianity?
You're presupposing the
I
first
got
year,
you.
but even then.
Oh
So,
no,
so
scholars are definitely
can I
holding on
can
to
I
this.
can I just say something real quick, and I'll
Yeah,
let
sure.
you talk as well.
So,
So, when you said the first 3 years, I'm sure you're referring to the creed found in First Corinthians 15.
Correct.
That is said by some scholars that it dates back to before Paul. Now, I don't
Yeah,
take
scholars
that
such as
opinion.
Bart
I
Ehrman.
think yeah, I don't hold that commitment. I think that it's based on speculation and not any clear evidence. So I hold the opinion of Dr. James D. Tabor, who says that that's a Pauline invention. Uh, we could talk about why that's a Pauline invention if you want, but why
Sure.
they believed in the resurrection, why they believed in resurrection, well, that's explicable by Islam. They saw him or heard, um, or people reported that he died, and after having heard and people reported that he died, they saw him alive again, and so they concluded he resurrected.
All right. Now, the one question I do have about that is, why did they think they saw him alive? Why would that have been so strange for them?
Why did? Sorry, what was the question?
why
Why
did
would
they?
that be so strange for them to have seen Jesus alive after his alleged
Why
crucifixion?
is
What's strange
why
about it?
why
Yeah,
why is it
how would that
strange?
fit into Islam? How would that fit into Islam is what I'm asking.
Oh, oh,
No
what's
problem.
strange is that they thought he died, and
Hmm.
after thinking that he died, they saw him alive, and so they concluded that he rose up. That's a miracle that God rose him up from the dead. And I think
Yeah,
that's pretty straightforward.
yeah, but in Islam, he never was crucified, correct?
So Islam makes two kinds of claims in the Quran. It makes a historical one and a theological one. The
Hmm.
historical one is that he died in perception because that's what history tracks. History tracks perception. And the theological one is that the metaphysical reality of the event is that he actually didn't die.
What is your belief on that? Do you believe he was on the cross, or do you believe that he was substituted?
No, I don't believe he was on the cross at all. The Quran denies that, and there's dalil qat'i in the Quran. There's certain evidence and proof in the Quran that it says that he was not crucified, so he wasn't even on the cross.
Mhm.
All right, all right. So if he was not even on the cross, all his believers believed that he was crucified, and then they believed he was resurrected because they saw him again. Would that
Right.
not all be by Allah's design?
You're presupposing
But
all of
that,
them believe in that, but even then, we
No, I'm
already
working
told you
exactly
yeah,
that.
with what Luciano just told me. He agreed
yeah,
up to
yeah.
those
That's
points.
I got you. I got you. So you said, is that Allah's design? Was that your question?
Yes. If he substituted
Was
Jesus on
this?
the cross.
I got you. So, like I said, Jesus was not on the cross. So you're
Mhm,
asking who was on the cross. Well, my personal
mhm.
theory, this is not dogmatic. because the Quran doesn't shed light on
All
it.
right.
But my personal
Fair.
theory is substitution theory, that Jesus was substituted by another who took on his likeness and was put on a cross in his stead. And now you're asking, well, if God made it appear so, then wouldn't that mean that God is the author of Christianity? Is that what you're asking?
Kind of. That is right around the area I'm going for.
Okay. So that doesn't follow because Christianity is not necessitated by death or resurrection.
We
Death and
just established
resurrection is
earlier.
necessitated.
We just established earlier, though, with the verse
Yeah,
that
so
we quoted earlier.
don't cut me off. Yeah, if you didn't cut me off, you would. I was about to just shed light on that. So you're not tracking well. Christianity necessitates death and resurrection. Death and resurrection doesn't necessitate Christianity, because these are two different things. So you could have a historical, quote unquote, death and resurrection, meaning that something happened and was reported in perception, and that will be explained fully by Islam. And if it's explained by Islam, then it doesn't necessitate Christianity because there's an alternative explanation. But if you're asking, does Christianity necessitate it? Then yes, of course, Christianity necessitates that. Meaning, if you're a Christian, you must believe in the death and resurrection.
All that's really saying then is, without the crucifix or resurrection, Christianity still would not have gotten started. So either way, it still only
One more
happened
time.
because. So either way, because the fact that he made it appear that he was crucified, and because the fact that there's even the belief that he was resurrected, that they saw the risen Jesus, that still created Christianity either way.
No, Christianity
No.
is a religion that developed and explained these events inaccurately. And
Okay, then why do they have
because
to
they
explain the
explained,
events?
let me
Why do
finish,
they
brother.
have to explain the events to start with?
Let me finish, brother. So Christianity explaining an event inaccurately does not mean that the event is authored or that the worldview is authored by God. That doesn't follow. And we see an example of that in the book of Acts, chapter 14, where Paul and Barnabas are in a city, Greek Gentile city called Lystra, and Paul and Barnabas are doing miracles. For example, Paul looks at a lame man and he tells him, get up, and he gets up. And so when the people see this event, they interpret it as the following. They say that Paul and Barnabas are the gods who have come down in human form. And they start worshiping them, calling them Zeus and his chief speaker Hermes, and offering incense to them and sacrifices to them. Now, did God author their idolatry because he allowed them to see this event and interpret it falsely?
No, and that's not even really even a 1-to-1 ratio on that. There's
No,
two
can you
complete.
just answer can you answer the question? Did God
I did.
author
I
their
just said
idolatry?
I already answered. I said no, but I'm also qualifying that with saying that not only is that a
Okay.
no, but they're also apples to oranges.
Okay.
They're not.
Thank you. So we'll get to how it's possibly apples and oranges, but you do agree with the principle that if God intervenes and he does something and people misinterpret it, God didn't author their misinterpretation, right? You agree with that principle?
I would agree that if men are choosing to do something, then that's on them.
No, that's not what I said. I said God decides to intervene in the world. And when people witness this, they misunderstand and misinterpret it to be something else. And because of it, idolatry springs forth. God didn't God didn't author their idolatry and their misinterpretation, right?
Because what ended up happening? What happened in your Acts example? What happened? What
People
did
Can
worship.
Paul
you
and
can
Barnabas?
you
What did
Worshiping
Paul?
like
What
Paul.
did
can
Paul and Barnabas do?
can
What
you
did Paul
answer,
and
brother?
Barnabas do? What did Paul and
Answer the
Barnabas
question.
do?
Answer the
No, I'm
question. Where's
asking you a question.
apologist? You're really living up to your name, man. Hey, listen.
Yeah,
Where's apologist?
yeah. There's a reason I chose the name.
Where's
There you go.
apologist? The question was simple. Do you agree with the principle that if God intervenes in the world and people see his intervention and misinterpret it, that God didn't author their misinterpretation?
I've already answered this. I already said that
You didn't.
would be the case, but I did.
Thank you.
I'm not sure if
Thank
you're
you.
listening,
All
but
right.
but
Thank
you're
you.
wanting.
Thank you.
I'm also trying to explain it further. That's why
Oh,
I'm trying to explain this to you.
W
Yeah,
W
because that's why
confession,
I
huh?
asked you the question.
All right.
Some
What did Paul and Barnabas do?
All right.
What what did they
They
do?
did. They,
When that happened,
they did
what
a
did they do?
they did a they did a miracle.
Okay, after that, when they were being labeled as these gods, what happened?
They said, "Don't worship us. We're only men like you."
There we go.
And
Now,
what did
do we
God
have
do?
any? Do we have any example of that?
And what did and what did God do in the 7th century?
The 7th century, or you mean 600 years after the crucifixion event
Yes.
happened?
What? Yeah. Yes. What did he do?
Okay, well, you realize in the 600
What
year
did
gap is a
what did he
problem, right?
what did he do
Oh, if you want my opinion, he did nothing.
in the seventh
That's my
century? He didn't do
opinion.
anything according to us.
No, no,
And in
Muhammad, Muhammad
and
decided
in
to say
my
something.
and in my opinion, Paul didn't really do a miracle. But I
Okay,
answered based on the
that doesn't
text.
matter.
So right. So now answer the question without being dishonest. According to us, because you're given an internal critique against our worldview. Now, according to us, what did God do? He corrected, just as Paul and Barnabas corrected.
Yeah,
Wow. Okay,
600
that's
years
point number
too
one.
late.
Point
600 years
point.
too late.
It's not 600 years too late. And even
Yeah,
if it
that
were
is
600,
seventh century
can you let
versus
me
first
finish?
century.
Can you let me finish, brother? Thank you. And it's not 600 years too late because the time that it takes for God to correct misinterpretation does not necessitate that God caused the misinterpretation. We're talking
Well, in
about
this
two
case,
different
it's a
things here.
pretty big correlation.
So whether God corrected the idolatry right away or he waited a little while does not mean that he caused it. That doesn't follow. Okay, that's point number one. Point number two, Jesus corrected it before it even took place.
Did
Because
he?
Jesus, in our view, was a messenger just like all the other messengers, refused worship, said not to worship anybody except for God alone. And so, because Jesus already corrected these things, God didn't need to come out and say, hey guys, don't worship a dead man who died on a cross. They should have already known that. But their misinterpretation is not God's authorship. It has nothing to do with that.
Now, here's another question on that. All right. So you're saying that Jesus went ahead and kind of explained away all these things before he was crucified, or made to appear to be crucified, correct?
Mhm.
Said that he already, kind of helped explain away these things before the alleged crucifixion. I just want to
Mhm.
make sure that is correct, right?
Yes,
Now, I just want
Jesus
to
would
know.
have been in line and continuity with the previous prophets.
Okay, I'm just one direct confirmation on that part that he said that he corrected these things before the alleged crucifixion.
Yeah, his teaching would have been in line and in continuity with the previous prophets.
All right. Well, because the reason why I'm asking is I just want to know: is there a non-circular reason that you can give that does not appeal right back to Islam of Jesus saying anything that would pre-exclude him from being crucified or resurrected in a divine way, in a way that would make him seem divine?
So I just want to make sure I understand your question correctly.
Okay.
Is there anything that Jesus said that would make us believe that historically God saved him?
Not necessarily, but close. But I'm talking about anything
Okay,
that
so
would at
just
least
correct my question.
okay, I'm talking about anything that would at least lead his earliest followers, the disciples and the apostles. Anything that would lead them to think that in some way he was divine whenever he was resurrected. I just want to know: is there anything that would
Okay,
pre-exclude that he said that does
okay,
not go back to
is
Islam?
okay, okay. Just wanna be sure. Your question is there anything that would compel his followers to think that he is divine if he is resurrected?
Yes.
what?
Okay, I have no idea what you're asking. I think all of that needs to be flushed out, and especially what it means to be divine. Sorry, I don't know
Yeah,
what you're asking.
that's why I was saying I want to come back some other future stream because I don't have that much time to flesh everything out. Because in
Okay,
about a few
well,
minutes, I'm gonna have
I
to start
just
into it.
well,
So
no
we're
problem, man.
actually anticipate divinity.
Yeah, I don't know what you're asking really. Is there anything that Jesus said that would lead his followers to think he's divine if he resurrected?
Yeah, divine in any
No,
kind of way. Yes. No. Okay, do you have?
No.
Because, but if you were to read the gospel accounts, would you believe that they did have a reason to believe that?
that he is divine if he
And
resurrected.
that they would believe that he was divine in some sense. Yes. If you were to read through the gospel
Okay,
accounts,
okay. I just want to. What does divine mean here? Like he's God, or divine as
God
in like he
or
has some
of God or
supernatural
of
or
God.
virtue?
I
Yeah,
think this.
God or of God.
I think this is leading to
No,
John 20.
no. There's nothing.
Yeah, but I
There's
think he's trying
nothing,
to lead
bro.
it up to like John 20. Oh, Thomas like deifies Christ supposedly because he
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
there's
exactly.
a bunch of reasons to go through.
But remember, he's asking if there's anything historical that would compel them to believe. No, there's nothing
Well, I'm
historical
saying just
that would say
anything
that.
that's not appealing back to Islam is what I'm asking. Anything that's not appeal back to your story. That could be almost anything.
Yeah, I didn't appeal back to Islam. I said there is nothing historical that Jesus said that would hint to his divinity in any Johannine or uh, later Nicene sense. No.
I mean, there's a reason why I'm being a bit more careful with what I'm saying. I'm not just saying just what you would accept as historical, but I'm also saying what just does not appeal back to Islam, which means I would include the
Okay.
Christian text. I would include the non.
I didn't appeal back to Islam.
I
I
know
didn't
that.
say
What
Islam
I'm
at
saying is
all.
I'm saying you're also going even further in just on excluding certain things. It seems like you're also want to exclude certain
So
Christian
so
texts as
so
well.
so so you're asking me to assume that everything in the Gospels is historical.
No, I'm not even
Why would
saying
I do
that
that?
necessarily. I'm not even necessarily saying that. I'm saying
Okay,
like just I mean,
if you're asking me if there's anything in the Gospels that would make Jesus divine, yes, there is.
all right. Now, is there any reason? I'm trying to think. My mind just kind of went blank. I was not expecting you to kind of redirect on that. Sorry, but
That's okay.
I know you. I only have like about 2 minutes left. Is there?
Yep.
How often do you do these streams?
I
Monday.
do them three times a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, about
All right.
4:30 Eastern.
All right. Is there any way I can come back Friday so I can flesh this out more?
Of course, man, you're always welcome to come.
All right. Thank you. And I just came here a bit later than I expected. I just want to flesh things out more. I just didn't have much time.
No worries. Thank you for
All right.
coming. I
Well,
appreciate it.
hey, I appreciate you
All right.
talking to me. Everyone's been asking me to talk to you for a while, so I've been wanting to do that.
All right, man. No worries. Have a good one. Enjoy
All
the
right. You
rest of
too.
your day.
Take care.
You too.
Have a good one.